We meet again, old friend. Wait, have I done this before? Well, the short answer is yes. I talked about this game once in 2016, then again in 2017, but like Crash Nitro Kart, I fucking hate both of those old videos. So I am ending Kart-a-Thon with a trip back to my favorite game of all time, Crash Team Racing.
There's a couple of reasons for this. One, the quality of those old videos are both absolutely abysmal, and all I did was just explain what happens in the game, rather than actually express my thoughts. And two, I have a whole lot more to say thanks to the mod community.
By the way, here's a fun fact for you. Because of the giant CTR letters on the cover, many Mormon parents in Utah bought this game for their kids. They thought it stood for Christ the Redeemer. Utah can't read confirmed.
Now, I have exclaimed many times in the past that Crash Team Racing is my favorite game of all time, but I never properly elaborated on why that is. Well, CTR was one of the first games I ever played in my life, my first console game in fact. It was here where my gaming journey had begun. I can still remember going to my grandparents' house and firing up my uncle's PS1. I spent hours playing this, Tony Hawk, and a game called 2 Extreme. This game was the last in the series to be developed by Naughty Dog after they denied a contract renewal with Universal. Why is that? Well, their work environment was shit, and they wanted to get out ASAP. So, this was their last ride with the Orange Marsupial, and they decided to take the franchise to the racetrack. The story includes a new villain, an alien from the planet Gasmoxia known as nitrous oxide. Naughty Dog made this character as a means to kill Crash, as they had the assumption that everyone who bought the game would absolutely hate him, and therefore quit playing and move on with their lives. However, Oxide had the exact opposite effect. He challenges our heroes and villains to a race for the fate of the Earth. It's not a deep story, but for a kart racer, it doesn't have to be. The main focus is always control. Now, I know I stated that the best way to judge a game's controls is to play it yourself, but you can tell just by looking at this footage that this game is one of the best kart racers in terms of controls, if not the best. Movement in Crash Team Racing is so buttery smooth. It's loose, but not too loose. The boost system alone makes this game so much fun to play. With no rubber banding, you can take full advantage of power sliding in conjunction with building up a sort of reserve system that stores your boosts that you get from power sliding and boost pads. All of this culminates into a level of speed that is so enchanting it has its own name.
Ultimate Sacred Fire.
Achieving this has you go super fast. It's awesome. CTR includes various game modes for the average player. Single races, cup tournaments, battle mode, time trials, the standard stuff. This game also takes a page out of Diddy Kong Racing's book with the inclusion of adventure mode.
In fact, Naughty Dog made CTR more like DKR than Mario Kart. They recreated Crescent Island as a test track during the early days of development. The power-up mechanic for the weapons in Diddy Kong Racing also kind of made its way into CTR with the Wumpa Fruit. Not only does your top speed slightly increase with each fruit you collect, but holding 10 allows you to get more powerful weapons.
Diving into the adventure mode, the game gives you the option to pick 8 characters, each with various stats. Characters like Coco and Engine aren't that fast, but what they lack in top speed, they make up for in acceleration. Meanwhile, characters like Tiny and Dingodile have the best top speed, but are pretty bad at turning. Crash and Cortex are the balanced characters, making them the easy choice for beginners. This isn't Diddy Kong Racing though. Once you pick a character, you're stuck with them. When you begin, you'll have either Aku Aku or Uka Uka give you some helpful advice. The adventure mode contains 5 different hubs that connect with one another. Your goal is to collect 4 trophies in each area to challenge that area's boss character. You've got characters like Ripperoo, Papu Papu,
Boom Down Big.
Komodo Joe, and Pinstripe Potaroo. Defeating each boss grants you a key to the next hub. Once you obtain all 16 trophies and all 4 boss keys, you will earn the right to challenge Oxide. Defeating him prevents him from turning the world into a concrete parking lot. I feel like there should be a reference here. But before you can call it a day, Oxide informs you that you need to collect time relics and race him again in order to permanently get rid of him.
Now, the time relics originally debuted in Warped, but their inclusion in that game left a mixed reception from players. However, in this game, I think everyone can agree they fit perfectly.
The relic races are just you against the clock, which you can freeze intermittently by breaking special time crates. The number on the crate is the number of seconds the clock will be stopped for. At the end of the race, you will be awarded a relic based on how fast your time is. The Sapphire Relic is kind of a consolation prize and requires the least amount of effort. The Gold Relic takes a little more practice and is required to take your final completion percentage over 100. And finally, you have the Platinum Relic. This one is for the hardcore players. They're not required for completion, but they feel so satisfying to get. Then there's the CTR Token Challenge. Remember the silver coins from Diddy Kong Racing? Well, the same principle applies here. In each track, the letters C, T, and R are placed in various locations. Some are right in front of you, while others may take a little more effort to find. Once you find all 3 letters, you must then come in first to receive a token. There are 5 different colored tokens, 4 of each color. But don't think the battle arenas aren't getting any love. Here you have a set time limit to collect 20 crystals and earn a purple token. But the crystals and relics aren't the only classic Crash collectibles returning in this game. Gems are also obtainable in the form of cup tournaments. In the Gem Cups, you race the 4 tracks with the corresponding colored token back to back. Score the most points to win one of 5 gems. Each gem unlocks one of the bosses to be playable outside of adventure mode. Speaking of the bosses, the Purple Gem Cup has you racing against them on each of their respective tracks. With the gems, you can collect the last 2 relics at Sly Coliseum and Turbo Track. Then you race Oxide one last time. Winning the race sends him back to Gasmoxia, and the game is over. Stepping out of the adventure mode, you have more options. You can invite your friend over to play some multiplayer. You can have more friends over to play if you happen to own a multi-tap. There are a total of 18 tracks in the game, along with 7 battle arenas, 4 to start and 3 to unlock. In addition, 7 characters can be unlocked. I already touched on the bosses, but there are 3 other characters that are unlockable in CTR. Getting the purple gem unlocks Fake Crash, beating Entropy's Ghost on every track unlocks him, and entering a cheat code in the main menu unlocks Penta Penguin. And after all of your hard work in the adventure mode, you get to look at Naughty Dog's virtual scrapbook. Man, what a reward.
Now, I do have one minor complaint. Why do none of the unlockable characters appear in any race outside of adventure mode? I know it's kind of a nitpick, but it would be nice to see my hard work and effort pay off in that regard. Also, why is Oxide not unlockable?
Well, there is a reason for that one. Oxide can't be unlocked due to console limitations. That makes sense, the PlayStation can only do so much. Also, this game was kind of rushed.
How is this even possible? How did 2 people finish 4th, and the one who finished 3rd ended up being the winner? How did that crate?
Yeah, Universal really liked giving developers unprecedented deadlines for their games. As a result of the game's rushed development, the American version had Penta Penguin stats incorrect. He's supposed to have maxed out stats, which he does on PAL and NTSCJ, but on NTSCU, he's a turning character, which is the worst class. Not only that, but there were also 2 placeholder voice lines that snuck into the final release, Penguin Ye 1 and Penguin Ye 2. Both voice lines have kind of become a meme in the CTR community, even to the point of Penguin Ye 1 making its way into the nitro-fueled remake as an actual voice line. But even then, this game still became one of the most memorable. In my opinion, this is the best kart racer you can play. With the amount of replay value, the upbeat soundtrack, the incredible track design, and the lasting impact it had on the series and its fans, which included a remake 20 years later for PS4, Xbox One, and Nintendo Switch, Crash Team Racing is a fucking masterpiece. I can't recommend this game enough.
But if all of this isn't enough to soothe your kart racing needs, don't worry. The mod community has you covered.
I can't wait to curb stomp you in these dumb, ugly-ass Rick Owens shoes. I'm Dracula. I'm 12 million years old.
Thanks to passionate fans, the game's lifespan has been extended with the inception of mods. These allow you to inject some new life into the 25-year-old PS1 game, like speedrun timers, random racers showing up, playable nitrous oxide, fire physics that replicate nitro fuel, and 60 FPS. This is all possible thanks to the endless work by several members of the community, whose progress is documented on the YouTube channels Darkizer and HypnoShark. The mods come from a currently ongoing decompilation of the game. At the time of this script being typed, the rewriting is 70% complete. When finished, the plan is to fully port Crash Team Racing to PC. Yes, you heard that right. The entire game is being ported to PC, which is amazing. The mods that add as many bells and whistles as you want not only can be played on an emulator or PC once the port is finished, but they can also be played on real hardware. Yep, grab a blank CD, follow a simple guide that converts your desired mod to an ISO file that you can burn onto the CD, and drop that bad boy into your PlayStation, as long as you have a means to play backups. Fucking awesome. My personal favorite right now is the one that incorporates native widescreen. Not only is the aspect ratio upsized from 4:3 to 16:9, but the menus and HUD are properly adjusted as well. They're not stretched like Crash Nitro Kart on widescreen Xbox. The other notable change in this native widescreen mod is vertical 2-player split screen. Glitch and I played it to get footage for this video, and we had a blast. Okay, so while I was in the middle of editing the Diddy Kong Racing video, the mod developers dropped this. What you're seeing right now is my footage that I recorded for Online CTR. Yes, you heard that right. Online CTR. This dropped while I was editing Diddy Kong Racing. I got a session in. I've got a few sessions in, actually. And yeah, it's a ton of fun. You can race with other people online. It's all in real time. The developers did such a phenomenal job. It's constantly getting updated to, grow and improve. And yeah, it's a really fun time. I absolutely love getting on and playing with other people online. Now, you may notice that the only item that I'm getting is a bowling bomb, and you can see I am hitting people, but they're not actually getting affected by the bombs. They don't have the items working as of right now. You can still use the bombs to like hit crates and use the Tiger Temple shortcut, but you can't actually hit anybody with bowling bombs. So right now it's just, time trials with other people online. But still, like, this is very revolutionary, and I absolutely love it. I think the servers are much more consistent and stable than fucking nitro fueled. So yeah, this is probably going to be my go-to for playing CTR online with other people. I love this. This is awesome. But I just wanted to come in while I was editing CTR to show you guys that this is a thing, and you should definitely check it out. Go on their Discord and download the build. It's fucking awesome. Crash Team Racing is a near-perfect kart racer, and arguably one of the best games ever released for the PlayStation. There's not much else to say that hasn't already been said. This is my favorite game of all time, and it's not even close. If you haven't already played it for yourself, definitely pick up a copy. There's plenty of them to go around. Thank you, Utah. Now, I have absolutely no idea why I gave this game a 10 out of 10 back in 2017. That was incredibly based on bias. That score is obviously being retracted. It's not too much of a downgrade, however. I am 101% confident with giving CTR Crash Team Racing a 9 out of 10. This game was supposed to kill the Bandicoot, but Naughty Dog was such a great team of developers that they instead ended up making the most impactful game in the entire franchise, and in my opinion, the undisputed king of kart racers, a hill that I will die on. Now, keep in mind that the mods had zero impact on the score, as they are mods, but they are definitely worth checking out. I personally cannot wait to see this game fully ported over to PC. It'll be a day the CTR community will never forget.
Thanks to the immense amount of success and support CTR received since 1999, when the franchise was brought back to life in 2017 with the Insane Trilogy, a remake was made 2 years later under the subtitle Nitro Fueled. And now that this game is 5 years old and was put to bed in 2020, I definitely want to take a second look at it, and I think a certain somebody wants to do that as well.
Oh, sorry, what's up?
But that'll be for another day. And with that, we can conclude the Kart-a-Thon. I gotta say, this was a lot of fun. I love racing games, especially kart racers. And there are plenty more out there, so maybe we can do this again next year, who knows. But for now, we are done. Before I go, I want to give a big thank you to Glitch Hatter, Deadly Black, and the Pain Huffer for their contributions toward a few of the thumbnails. Their links will be down below. I'm exhausted. I'm taking a nap. Good night, everybody.